Mr. Firth, I'm sure that the millions of Canadians who either are watching this or will learn about this in the press or seek out the transcript of this particular meeting will be very, very grateful that the RCMP has access to this particular evidence. What I can understand is why you would take active steps in misleading this particular committee and Canadians with respect to your role as it relates to fraud and forgery with respect to modifying without permission and consent these transcripts, but the resumes to the government. What I can't understand is why you would deliberately lie to this committee on a very innocent question that was put to you by my colleague, Mr. Barrett, when he asked you if you knew whether or not Mr. Cameron McDonald from the CBSA had a cottage. And you said no.
Do you know if Cameron McDonald has a cottage?
I don't know if Cameron McDonald has a cottage.
Do you know if he had one?
I do not know if he had a cottage.
Do you want to reflect on that answer?
Yeah, Mr. McDonald has never referred to it as a cottage. It's a chalet. It's not a cottage.
For that clarification, Mr. Firth. Are you kidding me?
That is the honest.
Are you saying you knew all along that he had something that was equivalent to a cottage or a cabin, but because a different word was used to refer to it, that you had the license to say, I don't know?
You were asking.
Is that what you want us to believe?
You were asking a specific question about a cottage. I answered honestly. He has never mentioned that he had a cottage.
This guy hasn't said anything honest since he's been here.
But he's got a cabin, doesn't he?
A chalet.
A chalet. Well, why didn't you offer that?
Because that was not the question that was asked.
I see. I see. So you have a very limited ability in terms of telling this committee the truth. Is that correct, Mr. Firth?
No, I'm answering
because the RCMP
correctly.
is going to have a field day when they come to interview you.
That's right.
I answered the question honestly with the question that was posed in front of me.
I see. Well, let's ask you some more questions then. Have you ever had or claimed to have influence on any government officials?
No, I have not.
Do you remember, sir, some of the allegations that you have probably read about by Bottler, that they've actually taped conversations with you? Hours and hours of conversations with you? Do you want to reflect on that question again?
No, I've seen everything that you've said. Everything that was in the newspaper is what I've read.
Well, sir, I'll remind you what you said on audio tape that has been recorded. You told Bottler during the very first call on November the 8th, 2019, these are your words, quote, so we have essentially the ear of the president right now of CBSA.
We have essentially the ear of the president right now of CBSA, which is, I guess, would be the equivalent of the minister or like the deputy minister. And my client who's leading, he's a very high executive responsible for Innovation Cloud. From a next step of getting the proposal over to the president, because this will land on his desk 100%. Like this is going, above the ADM level.
If that's not influence or claiming to have influence on any government official, sir, I don't know what is. So I'm going to ask you again, do you want to be truthful or not to this committee? Or do you want to continue to lie that you did not exaggerate or claim that you had this great influence over officials at the CBSA? Yes or no?
I was working with one person who identified...
Answer the question. Let's start with that. Answer the question. Yes or no? Do you agree that this is your words that you uttered to Bottler on November 8th, 2019, bragging about your influence on government officials? Do you accept that or not? Yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.